Morning. Thanks for watching. Or I shouldn't say good morning. It could be any time that you're watching this, I guess. So anyway, thanks for coming back. Thanks for checking out the site again. In the past couple of videos, we've been working on examples that have been using all the different things that we've learned so far, including we've been going over the eighth rest and the dotted rhythmic values, and we're still working on our different time signatures. So I thought we'd just do a bunch more examples that kind of demonstrate all these different techniques we've learned so far. Because that's really going to be, I can kind of explain this as much as I want, but I think the real way that you're going to sort of get it down and learn it a bit more fully is just by us doing a whole bunch of nice form measure examples. And also, hopefully, in 4 or 5 videos or so, I'm going to start bringing in real music that we're just sort of going to be able to put the CD on, listen to it, and try to figure it out what the rhythm is and stuff like that. So anyway, let's do another example. And let's, since we want to kind of work on all the concepts that we've been going with, let's actually start working on some different time signatures. And how about for this example? I think the last example we did it was in 4/4. Why don't we make this one in? Let's make this in 3/4 for right now. And let's say. You know what? I'm going to make this one kind of long. So I'm going to make this one, it'll be 1 measure, 2 measures, 3 measures, that, and then we'll actually have a second line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there we go. We're going to make this a 6-measure example. And I'll put kind of a double line right there. There we go. So let's go ahead and just make something up. Let's actually, since we're in 3/4, I think this might be the first time we've ever had one of these in an example. Let's put a dotted half note. We haven't had, I think the only ones, I kind of explained to you what this was, but I think the only dotted rhythmic value we've had so far in examples has been the dotted quarter note. So let's put in a dotted half note and try to figure it out. Let's do that. Then let's make this measure, all upbeats. There we go. Okay, and then, let's do something like this. Dotted rhythmic value. That'll look like it'll be okay. And then let's do, here's something we haven't seen yet. Let's do a dotted quarter rest. And then we'll do dotted quarter note. How about? That looks good. Make that a bit cleaner. There. And how about then quarter note, half note, and what should we finish with? How about, what would be a good thing to do? How about let's just do, that'll be good. 2 eighth notes, quarter rest, 2 eighth notes. And there we go. That's our example. So what's the first thing that we're going to do? Well, the first thing I'm going to do right now, and this thing's probably going to freak out on me. Yep, there it goes. There's a nice little freak out. What's the first thing that we always do in these examples? Well, we're going to number our beats, and I would encourage you right now to pause the video if you want to try to number these beats on your own because I'm going to do it right now. So remember, we're in 3/4 time. So how many beats, how many quarter notes are we going to have in each measure? Well, we're going to have 3 of them. So we're just going to number 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do that 6 times for each measure. So I'm just going to do this real quick. 1 goes on the downbeat, then 2 and 3. We actually make that a bit nicer. 2 and 3 are in no man's land. Then we play all of these. Actually, all these beats go on rest. So 1, 2, and 3. Then here we go on this measure. 1 on this note. 2 goes in no man's land because 2 starts while we're holding this note. Then the upbeat of 2 comes here, and 3 comes on the downbeat of this 8th note right here. So there we go. Then we'll move on to this bottom row. So we have beat 1. We start on this quarter rest, so beat 1. Beat 2 is in no man's land. Beat 2. So that beat 2 happens, I guess, while we're still in the at the end of this quarter rest. And then beat 3 again. Well, where does beat 3 happen? Because do we play this note on an upbeat or a downbeat? Well, we play it on an upbeat, don't we? Because this here is 3 eighth notes. So our 4th eighth note is going to start this note. I'll actually write that in. So this should write the. Actually, you know what? I'm going to write this in yellow. There we go. So remember that this quarter rest gets the same amount of value as 3 eighth notes. So our 4th eighth note happens right on this note. So that's going to be an upbeat there. So we're not going to play this note on a downbeat. So then where does that mean that beat 3 goes? Well, it goes in no man's land, doesn't it? After this note happens. So anyway, that's the breakdown of this measure. And I'll leave this yellow stuff up there for right now. And then in the next measure, this measure is pretty straightforward. We've seen this before. Play beat 1 there. Didn't do that. Beat 1 there. Then we play beat 2. And beat 3 goes in no man's land. Pretty straightforward. And then this measure is pretty straightforward too. We just have beat 1, and we have our upbeat. Then we have a quarter rest. That's where beat 2 is. Then we've got our downbeat on beat 3. And an upbeat again. So that's the kind of beat division for this example. Now let's go ahead and put in our arrows. So I'm going to put in the arrows where we've got where we play downbeats, and I'm also going to put in the arrows where we're going to hold notes out for longer. And I'll bet that this pen is about to freak out. There it goes. Yes, it did. There. Okay. So we play our downbeat on beat 1 like that, and we hold all the way through beat 3 because, and I guess this might be the first time we've seen a dotted half note. So what is a dotted half note? Well, it's, like we said, it's if you have something with a rhythmic value dot, that is equal to whatever that something was, plus an additional half. So if we say we have a half note with a rhythmic value dot, make that a bit nicer, half note with a rhythmic value dot, that is equal to a half note plus, what is 1/2 of a half note? Or what gets, if a half note gets 2 beats, what gets 1 beat? Well, it's a quarter note, isn't it? So, plus a quarter note. So that is equal to dotted half, which is 3 beats. Okay. And actually, I just realized I'm out of time right now. So I'll continue this in the next video. Thanks for watching.